Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So this is a video in the series of soul's journey, and in part 1 and part 2 of it I have already discussed with you as to what happens when a person dies. Like why does a person die through an accident or a natural death or gets murdered. What's the difference when somebody attempts a suicide or dies because of a suicide? How does all those things impact that person at the soul level? Then we also spoke about how people leave their body and what happens once the soul leaves the body, and where is the difference when the person leaves the body, when there is a new soul or accident or a murder or a death or a suicidal death has happened, and what is the difference when a person dies a natural death and is a high level soul and leaves the body. I also discussed with you in part 2 that why is it that we need to learn lessons, why is it that we choose a difficult life. And today we are going to talk about different levels of souls. So how different level of souls are and how they react in 2 different ways. Second, we are going to talk about how they decide to reincarnate and how they decide to take birth. Third, we're going to talk about, is there a time limit as to when a soul should take rebirth. And we are also going to talk about how does a soul decide to take a rebirth. So let's just begin. First of all, there are souls which are of multiple levels. So there are souls which are new souls, fresh souls, who have taken very less rebirths. At least as much as planet Earth is concerned, they have taken very less rebirths on planet Earth. Then there are mid-level souls who have taken more rebirths, but not like too many rebirths to get them towards spirituality. Third, there are souls which are high-level souls who have taken multiple rebirths. They know their purpose, they somewhere connect with their divine, and they know what path they are needed to be taken. How do we decide which soul is what? So the first level souls, the souls who've not taken multiple rebirths, will be the souls who will be into their own world. So they'll be less concerned with what is spirituality and what is soul and all of that. They'll not be bothered about it at all. They'll be into their day-to-day life, either struggles or happy, either ways, but into their day-to-day life and not bothered about these things at all, because they are new souls. They've just started learning their lessons. Mid-level souls will be souls who have their day-to-day struggle or life, but at the same time the questions regarding soul connect, the questions regarding connecting with guides or angels or finding spirituality or the truth keep coming to their mind. Then there are the high level souls, the souls who are already taken so many rebirths that they are already connected with multiple people in their multiple rebirths, and that's why they are at the level where their aura or their life impact multiple other lives. So this could be guides, this could be gurus, these could be people who are healers or counselors, these could be people who are into Bollywood, Hollywood. Anybody who is impacting multiple lives is a soul which is a high level soul which has taken a lot of rebirths. Now while I'm saying a high level soul doesn't mean if a soul takes multiple rebirths it's a high level soul, but it will connect with multiple people because it has taken multiple rebirths, have connected with a lot of others, and the soul connects with almost everybody in their upcoming lives who they have connected in the past lives. But a high level soul is who will find more into spirituality and the truth and helping people, and the other souls with multiple rebirths would be the souls who will impact multiple lives but maybe not that positively or not in that positive way. So these are the 3 type of souls. Now what happens when a soul has left the body, reached the soul world? So I told you there are some souls who decide not to leave the human planet and earth, and they become ghosts, or they remain around the earth, and either they are good or bad, but they remain here, they don't leave. Then there are souls who leave and they reach the soul world. Now when they've reached the soul world, they've met their loved ones, they've met their guides. This is when they are going to relook at what life they've lived, what they did, what were the lessons that they had to learn, what were the lessons they learned, and what were the lessons they didn't learn. Then they figure out what is it that they need to learn again, and that's based upon that they decide when and how they want to take a rebirth. Now about the timeline, there is no timeline about taking rebirths. It can be a person dies today and takes a rebirth tomorrow, because in soul world there is no timeline. So there is no time, there is no space, there is nothing. So what is like a second for us can be a lifetime for them to see everything and come back. And a soul might decide not to take rebirth for hundreds of years because it doesn't want, it is exhausted, it doesn't want to come back and learn that fast. Rebirths basically are for learning faster. Also, the souls can decide to take rebirth on other planets and not necessarily planet Earth. Now there is so when a soul decides to take a rebirth, now how does a soul decide to take a rebirth is so the first thing that the soul will decide is that the soul will connect with its guides and other souls, and then it will decide that okay, I want to take a rebirth. Now the soul will decide the planet. So our planet is not the only planet which has life. There are other planets, and the soul decides planet Earth if it wants to learn faster, because one of the most difficult lives that we have is on planet Earth. So the soul decides, once it decides that it wants to reincarnate at Mother Earth, then it decides the place, the city, the house, the people. And it is said that the soul to begin with decides the mother, who is going to be the mother. In very rare cases it decides the father first, but usually the mother, because that's going to be the first connect or first lesson that the soul will take. So it decides the mother, and then it decides and plans everybody around it. So your parents, your friends, your life partners, your in-laws, everybody and anybody who impacts your life in any way is already decided by the soul. Now the question is, if everything is decided by the soul and it is pre-decided, where does karma come into the picture? Karma comes into the picture because the soul doesn't decide only one path, because when we come to Mother Earth, we're going to forget about everything about our lesson, and then we'll think from the human mind, we'll do different things, and that's where the karma comes into the picture. So the soul decides multiple paths, and some paths, all the paths will be guiding you towards the same future or the same goal of your lesson, but some paths are going to be easier ones, some paths are going to be difficult ones. So then when the soul decides multiple paths, and when it is born as a human and it takes, say, a path which is not so easy, that's when the karma, so as per her karma, or as per his karma, as per the soul's karma or the person's karma, the soul has decided a particular path. Now with that karma, the path will be either more difficult or easier, and that's why it is said that heaven and hell, or you get all the results of your karma on planet Earth only. Because if you have chosen a wrong path for you, you will probably have a more difficult life. Now with the wrong path, it doesn't really mean that you're doing something wrong, you are hurting people or you're doing wrong things to people. No. If your lesson is to learn detachments, but you're too attached with people and you're falling or getting into that attachment furthermore, then you're diverting from your lesson, and that's when your karma is actually going to the wrong side and your life is going to be more difficult. But if you understand that, and if you're going on that path, your life is going to be the easy one. That's where your karma comes into the picture. Now this is how a soul is going to decide who are the people that will be around the soul, who are the people that soul is going to connect with different people. And also when we talk about souls which are like high level souls and they impact multiple people, and I spoke in my last video that if there is a high level soul, it doesn't remain in the attachments and just snaps out of it. But if the purpose is involved in that death or in that murder, then the soul will remain around. Like for example, Sushant's soul. So there is a purpose that Sushant's soul has, there is a purpose that it still has on planet Earth, and that's why it is still here, it is connecting with us, it has not left the realm, but doesn't mean that it has become something negative. It's still a divine soul, beautiful soul, but it just is working upon its purpose, and the purpose was to be served with either his life or his death, and the soul chose the part with where the death was involved or the murder was involved, and that's why it's still a high level soul, but it's still around us. So now how does the soul decides what level of difficulty the soul is going to get into, how difficult your life is going to be. So you'll see some people who have very easy life, they have money, they have everything flowing to them, they have everything beautiful around them, everything is working out for them, and maybe they are not at that level. Maybe you'll think that you're much more hardworking, you're much more better than them, but they have a better life. That's because that soul is a new soul. It has chosen that life for itself because it doesn't want to be too hard on itself and wants to learn easily and slowly because it has time, it has just started living. Vis-a-vis, you can be at a level where you need to learn a little more than the others, where you are at a mid-level soul and you want to move to that high level. You want to move to that level where you're connecting to the source a little more, little faster. That's why you've chosen a difficult life for yourself. And also for people who commit suicides, their life is much more difficult than any other person's life, and that's why there's some people whose life are very difficult because they've not valued the gift of the body that was given to them to learn, and they actually finished that body with their human mind, and that's why they get even more troubled life. So that's how the difficulty level of the soul is decided, and that's how some people have less difficulties, some people have more difficulties. Now in my next video I'm going to talk about why when a soul decides to take a rebirth and it comes into a mother's womb, why do some some babies die in the mother womb, or why some die very young. And I'm also going to talk about how can you deal with the circumstances, the differences, the problems that you have around you, or the difficult people that you have around you, and how can you figure out what is your karmic cycle, where is it your karmic cycle is going wrong, and what is your lesson, how can you figure out your lesson. So I'm going to talk about that in my next video, and to understand this video completely, it is going to be important to see the part 1 and part 2 of the video too, and that is why I'm those links into description box, so you can find the part 1 and part 2, both the links in the description box. And you can please keep writing your questions to me. I'm writing down those questions. I'm going to compile all those questions and make one video with the answers to all those questions, so that you have all those answers in only one video and you don't have to look at the multiple videos. So I will do that, compile the questions very soon. And I'm also going to talk about how a person takes a birth as a male or a female, and can soul be put into that female or male bracket. So we'll also talk about that. And keep writing your questions to me. Like the video, and if you press the like button, video becomes searchable, other people can reach to it. Share the video with other people who are into spirituality or interested into it, and subscribe the channel. Helps me know that there are people who are waiting for my videos and gives me motivation. And very soon I'm going to start a series on tarot reading as well. Like you can learn tarot reading online on the videos, so I'm going to start a series on that also. And take care. Please keep fighting for Sushant's justice and keep fighting for the truth to come out. We want truth, we don't want anything else, we don't want to settle in for anything else, we just want the truth. And take care of yourself. I will see you with the next part of the video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.